From IsReal News, this is the morning briefing for Tuesday, March 17th. The Israel Defense Forces confirmed the killing of senior Iranian official Ali Larijani, secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, in overnight strikes near Tehran. Israeli officials say Larijani had been serving in a central coordinating role within Iran's leadership. This comes as Israel continues targeting senior figures in Iran's political and military structure. The IDF also reports the killing of Basij commander Gholam Reza Soleimani in a separate strike in Shiraz, along with his deputy. The Basij is a paramilitary force involved in internal security and enforcement. The development follows expanded Israeli operations aimed at weakening Iran's internal security apparatus. Israeli officials say a new wave of strikes has begun targeting regime infrastructure across Tehran. A senior military officer told government ministers that Israel has identified targets for continued operations for up to 6 weeks. This occurs as the conflict shows signs of sustained military engagement. Iran launched additional missile fire toward central Israel, including a cluster-type projectile. Authorities report several impact sites, but no injuries or major damage. The incident takes place as repeated exchanges continue between the two countries. In a separate barrage, multiple missiles triggered sirens across central Israel, Jerusalem, and parts of the West Bank. Emergency services report damage at several locations, including a rail station near Holon, where train service between Tel Aviv and Rishon LeZion was temporarily halted. No injuries were reported. This comes as civilian infrastructure continues to be affected by ongoing strikes. An Iranian official told Reuters that Tehran has rejected ceasefire proposals conveyed by 2 mediating countries. The official said Iran's leadership does not view this as the appropriate time for negotiations. This occurs amid continued escalation and limited signs of de-escalation efforts. Israel's chief of staff said additional Iranian officials linked to regional militant activity were targeted in Tehran, including individuals connected to operations involving Palestinian groups. The development follows Israel's stated objective of disrupting broader regional networks. A report in the New York Times says U.S. military personnel aboard the aircraft carrier Gerald Ford have been informed their deployment in the Middle East will be extended through May. The extension would bring the deployment close to 1 year, longer than standard rotations. This comes as U.S. forces maintain an elevated presence in the region. Separately, the report noted a fire aboard the carrier that lasted approximately 30 hours and damaged sleeping areas, displacing hundreds of personnel. Authorities are continuing to assess the impact. This occurs alongside sustained operational activity in the region. Reuters reports that Gulf states are urging the United States to maintain or increase pressure on Iran. The report indicates concern among Gulf governments that a premature end to the conflict could leave Iran with intact military capabilities. This reflects broader regional positioning as the conflict continues. In Australia, the Australian Football League has been referred to a royal commission on antisemitism and social cohesion, following controversy over the removal of references to the Jewish community in a public ceremony. The Sydney Swans issued an apology, stating the decision was made internally and not directed by the league. This takes place amid wider scrutiny of antisemitism in public institutions. Those are the latest headlines from IsReal News.